Mujewali. My name is Bani Kivuka, and welcome to another episode of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Yeah, what's up? What's up, my people? This is your boy Bani Kivuka. How you doing? I know I've been gone for a long time, but I left a post. If anybody saw it on my social media pages, that I was going to go on vacation, and yeah, I needed some time to take vacation. And so, if y'all were wondering, most of you who follow me on my social media page, you saw that I was in Uganda. So that's the reason why I took a break, because I wanted to go to Uganda to visit my family. I had taken a long time without seeing them, and I love my family so much, and I wanted to go there and see them. So that was the reason why I took the break. We went there with my wife, Emily. But I'm so glad to be back and to open up season three. So this is season three. If you all have been following my episodes, I'm so excited to open up season three. Season three is here, and we're going to have a lot of stories in season three. During my time in Uganda, I had a lot of stories recorded from different people that we will get to hear on this podcast, and hear how God is working in people's lives in Uganda. And I'm so excited for you to hear those stories. They're inspiring and encouraging. So, but before I go into what I'm going to talk about today, I want to remind you that the merchandise are available, the hoodies, t-shirts, everything. And now we have an online shop. So basically, you can just go online behind your computer and order a t-shirt, order a hoodie, and it will come straight to your house. You don't have to go through me like originally I was doing. You can basically just go behind your computer, type in whatever you want, and it will get delivered to you. I have the link on my Facebook page where you can see shop. You click on that link and you can buy anything you want from there. Although we have multiple, we have stickers, we have t-shirts, we have backpacks, we have name it, we got it. And also those who follow me on my Instagram, I have the link in my bio, so you can go on my Instagram page and order that for yourself. uh, I want to thank people who have ordered. I've been seeing pictures and sending me those pictures. Those encourage me, and they keep on going to see the love and support from all of you. And I'm so encouraged that you guys are showing me the love, and I know a lot of people are going to support and promote this. So thank you very much. Don't forget to check the link on my social media page. And if you still have questions about this merchandise, just send me a message. I'll be able to answer any questions that you got. I also want to apologize for all my friends in Uganda that I thought I'll have this merchandise ready for you guys when I was coming, but it's taking longer than I thought. As soon as I get the word from the person in charge of this, I'll be giving you an update on what is going on with those merchandise. So just be patient and help me understand that. And I'll have these merchandise ready for you. But I want to thank you for support and for loving me. And for, I know when I was in Uganda, everybody was like, "Hey, Barney, where's my hoodie? Where's my t shirt?" And I just felt bad because I'm not like that. I want to provide to you, especially since you guys supporting me. I wanted to bring these for you guys. But as soon as I can, we're going to have these merchandise ready for you guys, and you can access them wherever you are, and it'll give you all the details. So thank you very much for your patience, and this will be available. So in today's episode, to open up season three, I wanted to just talk about my vacation. So, like, what happened? Where did we go? I mean, I've already told you we went to Uganda, but like, I wanted to talk about what, like, from the part where we left the United States to go to Uganda and what happened when we were in Uganda. So, my wife and I left the United States to go visit my family in Uganda. But before we left to go to Uganda, you can't just fly. Actually, right now, I think it's people who are fully vaccinated or you have to have a COVID test to fly to go to Uganda. So my wife and I had to get our COVID test. But so Brussels Airlines wants you to have, if you're connecting through Brussels, you have to have the COVID test that's 72 hours prior to your departure. And then Uganda had like, I think, 120 hours. So Uganda wasn't too bad, but it was all about Brussels. So the day before we flew at my workplace, somebody tested positive. So I was so scared that my flight is going to get canceled because I was at work and then this person tested positive and I thought I was going to get denied. But we took our tests on Sunday. We were flying Wednesday. So the first COVID test we took was Sunday, and we went to Walgreens, which is close by our place. And they told us, you get your results in 1 to 3 days. And then I was like, we were like, to be on the safe side, we need to get another test. So we went to Rite Aid, and Rite Aid was like, you get your test in 1 to 4 days. I was like, oh, what if we don't get these results back in time? So my wife and I was like, we should drive to Lansing and we get another COVID test. So we took another COVID test with Sparrow Hospital. And Sparrow was like, you get these back in 24 hours. So that night, we were flying the next day and we don't have any of the results with us. And we're all panicking. And I was double panicking. I was panicking because what if they come back positive? We're panicking. What if they don't come back and we have to fly tomorrow? So uh, I was just nervous, but I was just praying, God, God, God. But before we went to bed that night, the results from Sparrow came back, and mine came back first. I was like, oh. So I clicked, and they were negative, and then my wife couldn't get her results. So we're all now waiting for hers. We're waiting, waiting, and then they came back, and they were negative. So we were happy and excited to fly. But that was a terrifying moment to wait for those results to come in, and we were just thinking, what if we can't fly to go? And we had friends who were flying to Liberia that got to Chicago, and they told them the results. No, the COVID test they took was not the one required by Brussels because the COVID test Brussels wanted was a PCR test, so it's not a rapid test, and they had gotten a wrong one, so they refused them to board the airplane. So they told them to return back, and they called us, and that was not fun. But the good part is like they were put on the same plane that we were boarding to go to Uganda, so we got to bond together, and that 5 hour layover in Brussels was really good. We spent time with them and hung out and talk. And I'm talking about the best friend, like Dino, who was my DJ at the wedding. And we were just sitting at the airport talking, and they were with the sister. So shout out to Dino, Casey, and Lanelle. Thanks for making that layover go by quick. So we sat in Brussels and just chilled. But one of the funny stories when we're in Brussels, so they say, hey, we should go get something to eat. And most of the places in the airport were closed, but there's some that were open. So Dino and I was like, oh, we should pick somebody to go get food. So I told Emily that, can I pick out your food? She's like, no, you don't know what I want. So Dino and I and Emily go look for food. So we go around the airport and we find some burgers. It's like, oh yeah, we should get burgers. Emily looked at them. Those don't look American. I already told you, let's get that. I see bacon, I see something, it's a burger, let's get it. And then Emily was like, no, we shouldn't get that. I don't know what it is. But on our way to the place, we had passed by Starbucks. So she says, I saw a Starbucks back there. Let's go get what I know because Starbucks is like American. So Dino and I are both African, and then our wives are all American. And we're like, well, let's go get what they want to eat, the one they know. That was pretty funny because he Dino and I were okay with whatever we can eat, but the wives weren't. So we ended up getting Starbucks, and we had where I like dragon fruit on Starbucks, but they didn't have the dragon fruit. So we ended up getting a sandwich that had eggs and tomatoes. It was like I couldn't I couldn't eat it all, but anyway, that was fun. Spending time with our friends at the airport. That it just worked out perfect that we can hang out. So the flight to Uganda was so long. If you've never flown to Uganda or flown outside of the US or those long flights, so you take an 8 hour flight, 8.5 from Chicago to Brussels, and then, or like Belgium, and then from Belgium to Uganda, that's also 8.5 hours. So you're on the plane for 8 hours in that small space, just not doing anything. But I mean, they have movies. You can sit and watch movies. They have food. You can eat food. If you're not used to the food, don't be so excited about it because plain food sometimes it can disappoint. But yeah, they have all that, and they have a ton of movies. They have music, so you can literally just sit there and watch those movies and get entertained. But I slept for the most part because I usually like my sleep. And also, I downloaded some of my movies on my iPad, so I took my iPad with me and I watched Shooter. I don't know if anybody knows that TV show called Shooter. It was really fun. That kept me entertained on the whole like plane. But yeah, I flew to Uganda. I had a very good time with family, and it's something that you can't take away. Everybody loves their family, so I was happy to be there with my family. It was a short time, but I know the first time we celebrated my niece Celine's birthday, and I had one of my friends make the cake for her. Shout out to Kemi Bex, and thank you very much for the cake. It was wonderful. So I also we played a lot of games with my cousins and some of my friends that were at the house. So we spent most of our time just having fun and playing. We cooked food. We had shout out to Chef Lincoln. He made us some good meals, and we're gonna have an episode for him talking about his journey and how he has been cooking in Uganda and his cooking skills. I also got to spend more time with my younger cousin Ethan Sempasa. I also recorded an episode with him. He's a funny dude. He's a little bit shy, but he's really a nice guy, and he has a story to tell. Ethan, God has blessed his life, and he's an interesting kid. And I'm so glad and happy that while I was in Uganda, I was given uh, an opportunity to be his mentor and his guardian. So I'm happy to see him happy again and getting to school. I got in some pictures about his school, and I visited his school, and I can't wait to see what God is doing in his life, and his story is gonna come soon here. But also, while I was in Uganda, I visited the girls that my dad adopted. My dad adopted seven little girls, and from the age of 5 to 8, and they all his kids, and so these are precious kids. So spending time with them was really precious for me, and that's what I wanted. That's something I wanted. I want to spend my vacation with people, like hang out with these people and spend time with them and get to know them a little bit more. And I want to thank my dad for giving me this opportunity to hang out with these kids and just be with them. I also got an opportunity to speak to the restoration home, and we're going to have an episode from my dad, Pastor Fred. He's going to be talking about this restoration home. Basically, it's a home that takes care of orphans, like girls who are abandoned, abused, and they have like 51 girls. And I got an opportunity to go there and speak at their career day, call it a career day. We're talking about careers and what they can do. And some of these stories, you look at these girls trying to go through life, and I was speaking to them. I just started crying because, like, I thought about my life. I thought about these girls' lives. Some of them come from families where they don't have a dad, they don't have a mom, they don't know anybody in their families. So speaking to them, I just started crying because I can't imagine what they're going through. But then I was thankful to people like my dad that have offered their lives to help these girls through this kind of thing. And I was happy about that. I spent some good time, Emily and I, talking to them about snow, about career, about God. And I'm so happy that I got to spend that time. And like talking about the adopted girls too, my dad will hit on this. I have an episode that it's coming where my dad goes in depth about these girls and some of their stories. And now on this season, I'll be doing more of these topics so you can get to learn more about these girls. And some of them need help. And like if you listen to these their stories, or if you listen to this episode and you feel touched to help any of these girls who have connections, or you have contacts on how to contact them, to contact me or contact my dad, and send your support and help these people out. Yeah, in this season three, we're going to be talking more about that and more of these stories. And while I was in Uganda, we tried a lot of different Ugandan food. Lincoln made us some good food. We made chapatis, we made a lot of different food, and it was a great time just eating all different kind of food. But also, we went out to eat. I took my brother, his wife, and my niece and nephew out to eat, and we went to Cafe Javas. Cafe Javas is one of my favorite places to eat at in Uganda. And if you're traveling to Uganda, I would recommend Cafe Javas. Their service is good. They're nice and friendly, and yeah, you need to check it out. Especially the one at Oasis Mall, the place where there was Nakumat. That was a really good place. I always like their food. They never disappoint. So shout out to Cafe Javas. And there's other cool places to eat, but that's the only one I went to. Mostly I ate at home. I wanted to spend time with families to eat their food. So I only ate out once, twice. It was the second time I took my mom and dad and my aunt, and we had a good time there. And the other thing is, it was so hot in Uganda. So the crazy thing is, I grew up in Uganda and I didn't know how hot it is. So coming to America, people would ask me, "Is Uganda hot? Is it hot?" I was like, "No, it's not. It's not hot. It's just it's good. The weather is not bad. It's always like 70s, 80s, and that sounds good to an American who lives in Michigan." So, but after living in Michigan for like 5 years now, I'm used to the winter. It gets super cold. So I fly to Uganda, and by the time we landed in Entebbe, I wanted to take all my clothes off because I was hot. And here comes my mom. She was wearing a sweatshirt. Everybody was wearing a jacket. And I'm like, "How are you guys wearing a jacket?" It's like, "Bonnie, it's night time. It's cold." In Uganda, they tell they are cold by the day. Like they know at night it's cold. So everybody was wearing a jacket. And I'm like, "You guys, it's hot." And when we were in Uganda, we had to have our fan on for a long time. So our fan was running. We had to have our fan on for the whole night. So our fan was running every single day, except when the power goes. But we would have the fan running all the time. So one funny story is my dad came and asked the boys at home, they live with other boys, and asked them, "So guys, what's taking our electricity?" And then the boy, Ryan, my cousin, was like, "Pastor, it is the fan that's running 24/7." And we felt sorry because we were consuming their electricity with having the fan on. Because in Uganda, a lot of people don't use air conditioner. So we had the fan to use, but it was such a great time in Uganda, and seeing where I grew up. I visited my church and I spent time with people, and it was always good to catch up with the youth and people at the church. So basically, that's how I spent my vacation. And some other days I would just sit out at home and just chill with my mom and ask her. Actually, I also have a story from my mom that I'm gonna release this on this season. My mom gives like a biography of like how her story on my childhood and how she raised us and about her life. So you'll like it. She talks a lot about how my childhood was. So I'm so excited. But once again, I'm so excited to be back and just have this thing rolling. I want to thank everybody that has supported me, that is still supporting me and encouraging me. But also, I'm going to have other guests on the show who will come and share a word with us and talk to us. And like we've been doing, we're going to keep rolling and improving and doing. But really, this season 3, I just wanted to focus about Uganda and what God is doing in Uganda. This time, my time in Uganda hit me more like this visit in Uganda, because I went to Uganda with just a goal of just vacation to just chill and spend time. But it helped me realize what God is doing in Uganda. And when I was speaking to these girls, it just hit me. And so I wanted to focus on this, and there's a lot of need in Uganda, and I wanted to be at least a voice for God to use me to talk for some of these kids and to see what God can do in their lives if they get a hand, if somebody comes up to give them a hand. I'm going to release Ethan's story, and I'm glad that God used me to give him a hand where I can. And I'm praying that God will raise up many other people to give a hand for these girls, young girls who have dreams to achieve, but they're struggling through life. So we'll be sharing their profiles and what they like. And if you feel like you're attached for these girls' stories, and if you want to be a friend to these girls, they would love to be a friend and just have to somebody to talk to, a mentor, help them go through life. So, and this is what we do. Well, this is why we do what we do, to just help one another. And remember, at the very start of this podcast, I was telling people that we rise by lifting each other up. And that's the whole point why I made this podcast, to just share about different stories. So I'm so happy that my time in Uganda didn't get wasted. I just spent time with people and getting to know people. And God revealed some other things that I've seen, like helping other people. And that's why I'm coming back here to talk about these stories. And we're going to have many of them throughout this season. So be on the lookout of these ones. And we're excited. Many more stories about Uganda are going to come. But more especially, I want to thank God that we are back and this podcast is still rolling and many stories are happening. So I want to thank God for that. He gave us a safe trip back here. It was long, but we made it. So I want to thank God for that and just let you know many things are yet to come and are happening this season. So thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to buy this merchandise on our online store, and don't forget to support a friend. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. Hey there, I am Bonnie Kibuka, the host of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Thanks for watching my video, and don't forget to hit subscribe and share with a friend. Tune in every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time for a new episode about my podcast. And for more information about this podcast, follow me on my Instagram page, talk_show_256.